Hey folks, this is James from All Outdoors, and today I'm dressing up in my usual hunting attire because I'm testing out the Ruger Marlin 336 and 30-30 Winchester. It was made for many years, from 1948 until about 2020, and it is quintessential deer rifle. But the Marlin Firearms Company went under in 2020, and it was bought out by Ruger. Now Ruger is out making the quintessential 336. This is a classic model with a 20.5-inch barrel, and it is chambered in 30-30. Got myself a leather sling on it, and a nice low-powered variable optic. Let's go ahead and test it out. Alright guys, I'll give you a look at the Marlin 336 Classic and 30-30 Winchester. We have very nice checkered walnut stocks. Here's your checkered pistol grip. On the buttstock there, you do have a rubber butt pad in the back, which is nice to have. It's a little bit grabby on the clothing, which is good to keep it in your shoulder. Maybe a little unnecessary for 30-30, but there is a little bit of thump to that round, so not bad at all. We got a blued receiver, and you also have a gold trigger, which was a Marlin throwback. And of course it's a sided jet, so you can mount an optic on it. And you also have your red bullseye, which is another Marlin throwback that was repurposed and is back on the new model. You got sling studs back and forward, a nice checkered walnut forend, barrel band. You got your front sight, which is just a hooded post that's fixed in place, and you got your rear sight that is semi-buckhorn style. You can fold it away if you like, but it is adjustable for windage and elevation. Of course, on this one, I have a Leopold VX Freedom 1.5x4 powered scope on it. I'll show you a little more why later. On the opposite side, I just want to show you the rifle has a half-cock safety, so you can carry it safely this way. All you have to do is thumb back the hammer. Alternatively, the Ruger Marlins still come with the crossbolt safety, if you care. Of course, you got your King's Patent style loading gate. It loads 6 rounds in the tubular magazine. And again, we have a 20.5-inch barrel. This is a carbine length. Historically speaking, this is the most popular variant of the 336. And of course, 30-30 is the most popular chambering in the 336. Although, I really hope they'll come out with some other ones. So with that said, let's go ahead, put it on paper. Alright everybody, I have the new Ruger Marlin 336 Classic, and I have it topped with a Leopold 1x4 adjustable optic on a low mount. I previously tried to shoot and zero this at 100 yards, previously with a 3x9 Vortex Crossfire. I had a bit of trouble because I had a higher profile of mount. I was having to really hold my head up in order to see through that optic, and I think for some reason I can get 2 shots dead center, and I always had a fly that went way up here or way up high or something like that. So I'm going to see what's going on, see if a lower mount will help me out. But I'm going to start with some Herders, which is essentially rebranded Winchester. These are some 150 grain soft points. I must say, these rounds glide right in. There isn't much resistance to push into that loading gate, and it doesn't pinch your thumb. It's perfectly well rounded off. So unlike some other ones, including my old Marlin, it doesn't want to pinch you, but this is a really nice and easy loading rifle. But I have some clean targets at 100 yards. Let's go ahead and give it a go. I'm going to speed this up for the sake of brevity. Recoil is brisk. It is 30-30. It's not too powerful, but you know you're shooting a real rifle. Alright, let's give it a little bit of time to cool down. That barrel is not too warm yet, but I'm going to go ahead and just let it cool down for another 3 rounds. Different types of ammunition. Okay, we're at different angles so you guys could just not be so bored with just looking at me all the time. I have some Hornady American Whitetail 150 grain interlock rounds. I'm going to go ahead and give those a shot. And I don't have any of those Hornady lever evolution rounds with me today. I fired these out of this particular rifle, the 160 grain version, and they feed well, they cycle well. They just don't seem to shoot worth a darn in either my old Marlin or my new one. Gives me about 3-inch groups at 100 yards, so I'm going to stick to these soft points. Alright, so I went ahead and went down there to look at our results. The Winchester 150 grain or Herder's round seems to be doing pretty good. Now I have some Winchester 170 grain rounds. These are some PowerPoint soft points. I'm going to go ahead and give these a try at 100 yards. Something like you would want to use if you're shooting something a little bit heavier than, say, average American whitetail at moderate ranges. So let's go ahead and give these a try. The scope almost whacked me. Recoil is a little bit more brisk with these 170s. Alright, I'll take you down there and we'll have a look. Alright, I'll take you guys with me. I'll just talk to you for a minute as we go see those groups. Now, this new Marlin 336 is made by Ruger, and there are some differences with this particular rifle in terms of accuracy that may be pointless to what we're doing here today. It has a 20.5-inch barrel. It's a carbine length barrel, as well, it was the most popular. But this particular one, the ones made by Ruger anyway, they have a cold hammer forged barrel with traditional rifling. Historically, the Marlin 336, made since 1948 by J.M. Marlin, they had a microgroove barrel that is said to prevent deformation of the bullet and enhance accuracy. But what I can say is this particular rifle does not like Hornady ammunition, that's for sure. Alright, here we are. I took some initial shots to get that new optic on at 25 and 50 yards. Here's our Hornady interlock round. We have 1, 2, 3. That was the first round. Hit just about dead center. But then I had some horizontal stringing there. I can't say that it's any good. Let's go ahead and take out the ruler. Give it a quick measurement. Let's see, yeah, about 4.5 inches. Not particularly good there. That's the second Hornady load this particular rifle just does not like. I'm not sure if it's the fact that it's a traditional rifling that is used now, or that it's using a 1 in 11 twist instead of an old 1 in 12 twist. But the Winchester 170 grain round, that's modest at about 2.5 inches. But the winner is the 150 grain soft point from the Herders with a 1 3/4 inch group with just a 4-power optic. Not bad at all. Alright, we have the new Marlin 236. We're loading up with that Winchester, or rather the Herder rounds, 150 grain soft points. We got some steel at 200 yards. I believe those are 12-inch round plates. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. Although I was not initially a fan of the Marlin 336 line, I'm more of a Winchester 94 type of guy. I was really happy to see the 336 come back, and the virtues of lever action rifles are being rediscovered, and the 336 is an all-time great. Ruger certainly went more upmarket with their 336 line. Even this so-called plain classic model has better stocks and wood to metal fit than, say, my 1970s vintage 336. But all in all, the accuracy and action is on par, and the reliability is dead even. If you want the security of buying new, the Ruger Marlin 336 is an excellent 200-yard deer rifle. That's some wham on my pocket. The only real criticism I have is that the rubber butt pad adds about a 1/4 inch extra length to the length of pull, which can snag on the shoulder when you come up to aim. I think the lineup will be best served with a short stock youth model, and a truly plain offering. Perhaps that's what's in store now that Ruger is reviving the Glenfield Economy brand. That might be too soon to tell, but the new Ruger Marlin 336 is a worthy heir to perhaps the best lever-action rifle made. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.